Here we'll have a summary of Chapter 6 in a single sentence that grows over several examples. Our first sentence begins with this phrase here. This is a consultation or a discussion. So according to my discussion with the lady, with Marpa's wife, so according to my discussion with the lady, Lama Ngokpa's Dromdu means in the presence of, in the sixth case, Lama Ngokpa. I went, here's the verb at the end, I went to request the Dharma. So I went to request the Dharma from, we would say in English, Lama Ngokpa, according to the conversation I had with Marpa's wife. This is Milarepa speaking. And I would add here that this English, the English translation in all of the Nettle translation exercises for this semester are meant to follow the order of the Tibetan as closely as possible so that you can understand more easily, so to try to help you understand more easily. But they're not written, it's not good English, and so the idea would be that you should be constructing your own better translations once you have understood the Tibetan, and then you could turn your translation into a good English translation. So sometimes even I would say these English translations are really not English, or hardly English at all, and the idea is that you should be correcting that. Also, this, I would say, would be better said really as the conversation with the lady, instead of the way I've done it here. The lady consulted with me, and accordingly, I went before the Lama to request the Dharma. Here, what's added to the sentence comes in the middle of the previous sentence, and so all of this here is new. And so what we have inserted before, I went before the Lama to request the Dharma, we have a continuative particle that follows a verb. So I went to request the Dharma carrying, and what was he carrying? Let's look at what comes right before that. We have a noun-adjective phrase, so we have various, natsok. Chakdak natsok is various gifts, such as, and sok we've seen before is a particle that means such as, and we read what comes before that up to here. So we have naro, and with a sixth case, ugyan, tang. So there are two things in a list here. The first is Naropa's ornaments, ugyan, Naropa's ornaments, and tukdam is a lama's, a religious person's practice object. It could be many types of objects. We don't know specifically what type of object. And Pemaraka is a ruby practice object. So it's some sort of thing that he uses Naropa uses in his practice that's made of ruby. So a ruby practice object and his some other kind of ornaments of his. Those are the gifts that he brought when he went to see the Lama. So here we have two additions. First we have this one, and so let's do that one first. So here's Naropa's ornaments and his ruby practice object, and So what comes before them is qualifying them. So they are from the Lama's house. So Simkang is the honorific of house because it's the Lama's house, so it's in the honorific. So it's the Naropa's ornaments and practice object from the Lama's house. And what else is new here? Okay, so it's various gifts, such as those two things, and now there's one other thing that he brought. And so this part is new. And here is the same verb that we had before, carrying. So he's carrying, here's another thing that he's carrying, right here. And it is Yigeshik, a letter, which, reading backwards with the sixth case, which was made or done according to the Lama's authority. So a letter that's written, in this case, che, can mean so many things, to make or to do. Let's say because it's a letter, we want to say a letter that was written according to the Lama's authority. So that's not very good English. You can put that in better English yourself. Now what's new in this expansion of the sentence comes at the end. So we have chin, the verb that ended our last sentence. So he went to Lama Ngokpa's house with those gifts, and having gone there, something else happens. So let's start at the beginning and get some of the vocabulary. So the initiation and the oral instructions, top, is to obtain, and then we have kyang, top kyang. So although I obtained the initiations and the oral instructions when he went to Lama Ngokpa's house, Magye, something did not arise in Gyula, in his continuum, and it's these two things. It's his meditative experience and his realizations. So the fruits of practice, in other words, did not arise. And Chi-yang, or you might see this in colloquial Tibetan sometimes as Chi-kyang. Chi-yang, so nothing whatsoever arose. So meditative experiences and realizations, none whatsoever arose in his continuum. Here we have a new addition to the sentence coming near the end. So here's the verb, although I obtained the initiations and oral instructions. And here we have something new. All the way up to here. So although I obtained those oral instructions and initiations, Lama Marpa's authorization, because I did not have Lama Marpa's authorization, and so taking this agentive case as meaning because I did not have the authorization of Lama Marpa, Ying Medu Gom. So Gom is to meditate, and Yang Medu is unwaveringly. Yang is to waver, and Yang Medu then becomes an adverb, unwaveringly. And Rung, we've seen a number of times, if we have verb Rung, it can mean although verb. So although I meditated unwaveringly, because I didn't have the authorization from Lama Marpa, I didn't achieve those realizations or the fruits of that meditation. And finally, a couple of small additions to this sentence here. The first comes, where is it? right here, Wang Yundu. So remember we had the gifts, the three gifts, the two objects from Naropa and the letter from the Lama. And those were from the Lama's house right here. And so here we have an addition, Wang Yundu, as initiation payments. So Wang Yun is payment that the student should give to the teacher for the initiation. And so he had those gifts, care, right here's the verb. So he carried those gifts, those objects, as his initiation fee. So that's one new addition to the long sentence. And the other is, let's see, it's right here before Lama Marpa's name. So before Lama Marpa's name, we have this long string of syllables, which is an epithet for Lama Marpa. So Lama Marpa is the tsukyen, the ornament of, here's the 6 case marker, of 10 million scholars. Chewa is 10 million. And Kedrup is scholar practitioners. So Lama Marpa is an ornament among 10 million scholars, you could say like that. So just an epithet for his name.